Good afternoon, good Monday. I'm just doing some tidying up today, which I've been trying to do for about, must be 2.5 2 weeks. And I'm just getting around to it today. It's a bit shocking, if I'm honest, the pile of dirt I'm currently sweeping up, but it is a building site at the moment, the boat, and I'm still getting used to how optimally to use the stove. So it's really the ash from the stove, basically. I've not been able to clean it up for far too long, and that's what I'm doing now. But where I'm trying to live life again to the extent of I'd otherwise not at the moment. I'd otherwise not live life. That would be my first port of call. But where I am in terms of this world and my life, I'm fully aware if I don't take action, things are only going to get worse for me. So I'm having to be active, and where things are really bad in reality, I'm having to just be a little bit more positive. Otherwise it'd be impossible to get anything done. And the idea just popped into my head. It was like, I do this from time to time. I'm alone in the world, and I've always been very egoic. But I was thinking about my life, and it's a bit annoying at how egoic it might sound, but it's interesting, I'm sure. I know that. But it has not been since I was making the live streams in the early days back at the flat, when I'd consider being a little bit brash, being a little bit bullish in the way I communicate and showing some ego. Obviously, a harmless aspect of the ego, nothing with pride, as childlike as can be. And I was contemplating my own life just now, and they say that thing about geniuses. They can do more than one thing at the same time. And I was thinking about all the different different fears of different realities I'm having to fight to stay sane. And I'm probably going to miss one or two, but I thought I'd list them and see if anybody wants to swap. I'm just joking about here. I'm not trying to fight anybody whose pain is worse, because it's never right. No pain is ever greater or less than another. But the first reality I'm living in and trying to stay sane in and survive in is being influenced and terrorized, to a certain extent terrorized, by some sort of secret agency, whether it be the CIA, NSA, the UK versions. I've said it before, it could even be aliens for all I know. All I know is I'm being interfered with in a very specific way, and it disturbs my life. And I've got to gain a level of sanity to function beyond that. Then in addition to that, I've got what's the background psychosis I've had running for the last, well, since I've had my mental health. And it's formed a picture by itself, is that there's a collective psychosis. I've referenced this a few times. The collective psychosis is the world's secret spiritual awakening taking place. And obviously if there's a spiritual awakening taking place and you're not awake yet like myself, there's still a certain level of work that we need to do before I guess we're allowed to wake up. And a whole new level of perception to has formed in addition to that. So for instance, going to the shops no longer going to the shops. I can't have a normal interaction with anybody anymore, ever, as long as these are the constraints. It's like people have shown a different side to themselves, and you all are more than willing to interfere and affect my life. You have been for a long time now. In addition to that, I'm under the genuine idea I'm in a coma or a near-death experience. And I've got to figure out how to get back home. It's a bit like that series that was on TV. It's an American series. When I was a kid, I used to watch it. Sliders, I think it was called. Basically, this guy invents some sort of trans-dimensional device where he can open up a portal to another dimension. Anyway, him and his friends go for a exploration of another dimension, and I can't remember how it happens, if the device breaks or something else happens, but they can't plot a course for home. So in other words, they're forever traveling from one dimension to the next dimension and to the next dimension in the hope that they find home. Not only that, when they get to each dimension, they have a certain level of a time constraint. I can't remember if it's fixed or if it changes each time. But they get there and they have to know, right, is this home or is this somewhere else? Because if we don't take our opportunity to go into the next portal, we're stuck here forever. And my life is a little bit like that. There's only so much conscious effort I can give that way before it just runs its own end. So I've dealt with the initial fears of being dead. That's I've accepted that. What else? Oh, obviously everyday life and the coronavirus and the pandemic and modern day society. I've got another reality where I've taken the teachings of David Icke, that we're all basically slaves in a reptilian overlord controlled world. And the hilarity that is my life, it presented me with an opportunity to, how would I put it? Well, to do what came naturally in terms of that perspective to reality. And I did what came naturally. But in doing what came naturally with good intent, no bad intent at all to anybody, I've sort of opened up that as a very, very real, very, very constant, very, very personally terrifying and globally terrifying reality. And I'm trying to juggle all of those things, and I'm like, but I thought I'd share it. If anybody who does want to swap somehow, just comment and I'll get back to you and we can arrange a transfer like they do in Avatar. At the end of the movie, when he gets transferred into the big blue body, God knows which one I am. I'm hardly alive here. That's what I know. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Short and well, shortish and sweetish in comparison to what I've been posting. And all I want to do, man, is just have my own little log cabin in the forest. Go and hunt and forage and grow my own food. Have an internet connection there that I can use solar power or geothermal power I've installed, or water turbines near the natural stream just down the way where I can collect fresh, alive water to give me life. You know, and I can... Oh, and on top of that, my family are all wanting to backstab me all the time. I can't trust any of them. In other words, the reality is that due to all of the bollocks you've just heard mostly, and my mental health disorder, which I blame my dad for, and he's been proactive over the years in saying, making it conscious to me that he's responsible for my suffering in way of my mental health. So I've got all of that complexities at play as well in the background. And I have a mental health disorder. So, mate, I don't know how to be. I don't know if I should laugh, cry or what. There's nothing I wanted to come from this video. It's a bit strange. I don't know how to end it all of a sudden. So I'm just going to press the end button.